I want to take this opportunity now to introduce the president of our congregation, Danny Foster. And this is both a last and a first. It is the last time, Danny, that you will be addressing us on the high holidays. And it is the first time that you will be addressing us in person on the high holidays in this sanctuary. You know, as a rabbi, I've worked with many presidents of congregations. And I know how hard they work. The labor, the love, the complaints, and the compliments. Well, hopefully more compliments than complaints, but we know we get complaints too. And the love that you have to have for your community to take on this leadership role, which is both a wonderful and rare blessing and sometimes a burden. And I am so thrilled that these last 3 years, 2.5 years, we've been blessed with your leadership, Danny. You are a visionary. You love this congregation. It's in your DNA. We know that. But more than that, you are someone who understands what it means to lead, especially during difficult times. So it is with great joy that I invite the president of our congregation, Danny Foster, to say a few words.
Good morning, Shana Tova. It's lovely to see you all here today and in this space. For many of you, this is the first time you may have ever participated in a service in this beautiful sanctuary, or it may be the first time you've been here since the Great Flood. It's amazing what new carpet and chairs can do. For those of you who have been here before, when you walked in this morning, did you walk over to the area where you normally sit, where you and your family have sat for years or even decades? Or are you finding a new place to sit, a new perspective, so to speak? Wherever you sit, I hope your perspective allows for a moving and spiritual day full of reflection and renewal. As many of you may know, our family, for 50 some odd years, has always sat in the second or third row on the far right. My mom liked to keep an eye on my dad. And my dad liked to keep an eye on David and Debbie and myself to make sure we were behaving. I always was. David and Debbie, not so much. But all of our seats, wherever they may be, provide a unique perspective of this sanctuary. I was always drawn to the beautiful stained glass menorah behind the ark. One day I noticed there was a missing piece of glass at the very top. How did that happen? And more important, how on earth do you fix that? Do birds fly in? What about snow or rain? You see it up there? I'm doing my best with my laser pointer. And I know I've given you all a new itch that you'll scratch for years. But this lost pane of glass didn't detract from the beauty of the window. It enhanced it. It changed my perspective. It made me think of the strength of a community. There are hundreds of panes of glass that make up that image. And when one of them falls, the rest hold up the community. We still know what that image is, even if some pieces are missing. When someone here is sick or has suffered a loss, the rest of the community rallies around them, and the picture is still very evident. Because a community isn't just a group of people. It's a group of people that care about each other. When we had to make the painful decision to close Schwader Camp this summer due to a COVID outbreak, we mourned together. But we all knew Schwader would be back and survive because a little broken window doesn't destroy the Schwader community. It just alters our perspective, and we learn from it. We've learned to roll with the punches over the last few years, and our community has survived. And look, here we are, praying together once again in our sanctuary. And our community will all soon experience the same collective chills when Cantor Sachs leads us in the great Aleinu, in front of that majestic ark and the stained glass menorah. That ability to change our perspectives and keep going is what unites us as a holy community and truly gives the soul to what Temple Emanuel is, has been, and God willing, will always be. There's a town I know well. The people who live there and who are from there are lovely. Some of them are even here today. So I won't mention the name of the town, but it rhymes with Schmolwalkie. Whenever we visit, we always say, doesn't anything ever change here? It's the town that time forgot. Because change is good. It alters our perspective and helps us grow. Our sanctuary has changed, and the liturgy has changed a bit, and it has renewed us. Over the past year, our temple community has demonstrated our renewal with a record number of B'nai Mitzvah, weddings, and other life cycle events, incredible learning and social opportunities, and social justice projects. Our religious school and early learning center are thriving, and we had a record-breaking fundraiser with Super Diamond. Temple is clicking on all cylinders, and we want you all to be a part of it. As I enter my final 6 months as president, I'm excited about a lot of projects. I'm thrilled with the hard work of our history task force, who are deep into our updated written and video histories of Temple Emanuel, which will be debuted next year during our 150th anniversary celebration. I'm also excited about our library reinvigoration task force. We're in the process of reimagining a true community gathering place here at Temple in a fully renovated and modernized library space, complete with a coffee shop, study areas, and comfortable lounging that will allow us to relax, converse, and be together. The central corridor of our building is desperately in need of some renewal, too. What I promised I would not do as president was engage in strategic planning. I don't like strategic plans. I absolutely would not do a strategic plan. So I'm glad to say we also completed a new strategic plan this year. As much as I don't like strategic plans, we needed this because as many of you know, in our efforts to ensure Temple is here for future generations, we are, as a part of our 150th anniversary, engaging in one of the most important financial endeavors in Temple's history. We are creating a true endowment to help us offset member dues and provide the funds for clergy growth and capital needs that will catapult us for decades to come. As traditional dues models become less reliable, we must step up and fund an endowment like many other synagogues across the country are doing. It's the future of the American synagogue, and I know our community will make this a reality. I promise you will all be a part of this process. And we hope that when we formally kick off our 150th anniversary celebration next fall, our future president, Wendy Nekritz, will be able to lead off her Rosh Hashanah remarks by saying that we are on pace to reach our goal to ensure Temple Emanuel for generations to come. Now, come on over to the coffee shop and let me buy you all a cappuccino. And a quick word about Wendy Nekritz. This congregation could not be luckier to have her. She is smart, inspiring, and incredibly competent. But she isn't really into public speaking. I'm the same way. I can't stand this. It's awful, you know. But a word of advice. When drafting your remarks, Wendy, the congregation probably won't remember everything that you said, but they certainly will remember how long you said it. As part of the strategic plan, we established an updated mission, vision, and value statement that we proudly list on our website. And you can see it all. Together, as a sacred community, we strengthen and deepen Jewish journeys. Our Jewish values provide us with the framework to build on the past, thrive in the present, and innovate for future generations. Together we rejoice. Together we comfort. Together we pray. Together we learn. Together we repair the world. Together we seek God in our midst. Together. Together. That incredibly important word. The word that creates community. Just like the community of stained glass works together to form a brilliant image, and I am confident together we'll succeed in strengthening our community for generations to come. On behalf of the Temple Emanuel Board of Trustees, I want to thank Rabbi Black for all you have done to create a warm and spiritually inviting place for us. We are blessed by your leadership and direction and love for this congregation. Also, if you haven't picked up your copy of Praying with Our Feet, Rabbi Black's new CD, please do so. It's available wherever music is sold. And all profits go to Temple Emanuel. Thank you. Don't download it for free on Spotify. Buy it. Okay. To Cantor Sachs, you continue to demonstrate that a human being can be efficient and amazing on only 2 hours of sleep a night. Thank you for your leadership, your beautiful music, and your organization. That is the glue that binds this place together. We pray your husband Eli enjoys commuting to the East Coast for many, many years to come. To Rabbi Hyatt, thank you for your powerful words, your charisma, and joy you bring to all of us. We are so glad all of your friends and family live here in Denver, so you'll never want to leave. To Steve Brodsky, thank you for keeping us engaged as a congregation by not just your music, but your depth of Jewish knowledge and love of teaching. Your title may be cantorial soloist, but you should be known as Stephen the Great. And to a few other Stephen the Greats. First, thank you to Stephen Stark. I don't know where he is. He's running around doing something, putting out some fire, I'm sure. Thank you to Stephen Stark, our Executive Director Extraordinaire and co-CEO. I have worked closely with you for the past 3 years, and our congregation owes you a daily debt of gratitude. I think in a previous life you were a camel, because the amount of tasks you are saddled with would break other people, and you do the job with a smile. Thank you from the bottom of our hearts. And to Dad, Stephen the Foster, thank you for continuing to be there for your flock. You are evidence that rabbis don't really retire. Because you retire from a job, you don't retire from who you are as a person. Thank you for making Temple a priority in my life. Finally, thank you to all of our Temple staff, volunteers, and the Board of Trustees of this synagogue. You all give so tirelessly of yourselves. Working with you all has truly been one of the highlights of my life. On behalf of myself, Becky, Rex, Lucy, and my co-speechwriter, Ozzy, I wish you all a sweet new year full of joy, success, and unique perspectives.